It's interesting. Not telling me. There we go.
Yeah.
Wow, it changed. It changed. Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson and Teri Angel here for a meditation a day. Today, we are doing a very special silent meditation. Not sure where Spirit's going to be taking us, but we know that something to do with nature and nature's energy, I do believe. So, Teri Angel, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ruth. Good morning.
So, what we are going to invite you to do is just to go into meditation yourself. Teri and I are going to go behind scenes and meditate. She's already gone and meditate. Teri's going to play some pretty music, and we'll be back in about 20 or 25 minutes and share with you the messages that Spirit had for us. So, thank you for being here. Just make yourselves at home, and we'll see you soon. Teri, can you hear me?
I do hear you. Do you hear me?
I do.
Okay.
It was interesting because whenever Terry and I come on, we always ask what our background should be, and they were very clear that they wanted green for me. And Terry, I love your water background, and so we had a feeling that this was going to have something to do with nature, and boy, did it. The title of this meditation is apparently back off on your consumption. And they're talking about the consumption of all of the things that we're surrounded with that we tend to think are disposable, like clothing or old towels or even batteries. I mean, they were very specific about the different things. They started out by telling us that they showed us different microcosms. And first, they took us to a waterfall, very lush area, and they got into the microcosm of the ants and the bugs. And they said these are a microcosm of society, and no one microcosm is more important than the other in God's eyes. And then they said it's our responsibility as humans, as an evolved species, to look after each other's microcosms. And then they went into the list. Be careful with outside weed killers and pesticides, because then it runs off into the water stream and gets into the ground, etc. It takes out more animals than one would hope. And Teri, you said it beautifully. Be careful with outside weed killers and pesticides that harm the outside ecosystem.
Yeah.
Wanted
And
us to go ahead.
we've gotten into the habit of using them without even thinking what it's doing underneath. But it's just killing those weeds, right? But it's doing so much more than that.
Right. Harming. Yeah. They said find responsible ways to get rid of your refuse. Reduce your consumption of one-time plastics. Dispose of batteries responsibly, other than the landfill. And Teri, you looked that up, how to get rid of batteries responsibly.
Yeah. It's not, don't just throw them in the garbage can, because there's acid in them along with other chemicals. They can start fires. And especially if there's water added to that acid, it can create a fire. So you can look up in your neighborhood where to take those batteries, any batteries, not just the little, disposable ones, but car batteries. Ruth, you mentioned that, seeing car batteries in landfills. And yeah, just find out, just become more aware. What do I do with this? If you don't know, then ask.
And if you don't need to buy it in the first place, don't buy it. And hopefully we'll need less of things. Yeah. They said recycle, reuse, regift. It's just funny to me how very specific they were being on all of these examples.
Yeah.
They took us into the fast fashion. Again, we talked about this last week. Buying clothes that are made more sustainably. Teri, what did you learn about making of clothes?
It's insane. I had no idea. So this was a real education for me today, I think for both of us, of the amount of water that it takes just to make a garment. One garment. It was, what did I have? 2,700 liters of water to make one t-shirt. Think about that. How many t-shirts do you own? Think about your wardrobe. How many t-shirts are there? And that's just a t-shirt. That's not the other amount of shirts that are, and tops and clothes that are just have to be dyed, and using that water consumption to do all of that. And then the dye pollutes the water. So it's really, when you get into it, it really expands out to not just the water consumption, but the carbon footprint is also what it was talking about. And that's going to just keep increasing because, like you were saying, Ruth, the fast fashion and how we just don't reuse clothes anymore. Whether we get bored with them or seasons change. Oh, I've got to get rid of this one so I can go get something different. I've got clothes that I had, I know 12, 15 years ago that I still wear. And to me, it's just insane. I'm a minimalist anyway, so it just doesn't make sense to just keep buying and buying and throwing away. In our landfills, especially in America, it's just full of discarded clothing that's just there and taking up space. And it'll take it a while to disintegrate. And then what's happening is going into the earth and into our water. So
Or they're being
there's
shipped.
so many statistics, and we don't want to bore anybody with statistics, but just take a look. It takes 20,000 liters of water to produce 1 kilogram of cotton. How many cotton things do you have? Those are the t-shirts and the other materials that we wear, cotton dresses. So become more aware, do the research. You can Google anything these days. Google will tell you facts. So find the facts and then look at, how am I adding to the problem? Or am I going to start being more aware and reuse? Or Ruth, you mentioned like thrift stores.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect answer. If you want something new and different, go thrift store shopping. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents worth. But find out what is going on with our earth. There are organizations that are trying to bring more awareness, and I'm going to look at that for sure and see. I know there's more awareness than what we just did in 20 minutes or so. So find out and find how you can help our Mother Earth. This is so necessary, you guys. That's why the angels decided this was important today.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were learning about fast fashion, and they said that there's typically now like 52 micro seasons. So it used to be winter, spring, summer, fall, and then you would see this new lineup of clothes. Well, there's a continual new lineup of clothes. And I remember hearing from a store once that the typical person will wear a new item 5 or 6 times and then dispose of it. That is a lot of clothes that are barely being worn and then just being disposed of. So
think of how many billions of us are there on the planet. Do the math.
Right. Right. So the angels are just asking us to please, please just be aware. Where are you, me, Teri? I mean, we're all being asked to look at this. Kona's crying. I'm sorry, Kona.
And that was what you mentioned also, Ruth, was the animals being affected by this. Because a lot of what's happening, especially if there are dyes being used, is polluting the water.
Right. What are you doing or not doing that is impacting the environment? I think it's really just a call to action. And until we're more aware, we can't possibly know how we are impacting the environment. So let's learn about it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Awareness. Just like we have to become aware of ourselves, who we are as a spirit being. And once we are aware, then we start looking at what we're doing. What are we doing here? What footprint are we leaving on this earth? Make it a good one.
Make it a small one. Yeah. Leave a bigger footprint energetically, or a bigger footprint of love and kindness and compassion, but not so much on the one-time usable items or,
all the ways
harm the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Terry, thank you so much for being here with me today. Friends, as you learn things about what we can do to lessen the impact of our being here on the planet, please share those with us here at Enlightened World Network. You can send them to me in Messenger. You can send them to Terry in Messenger, and let's see what we can't do here. The angels are asking for our help. So thank you for being here, friends. Take good care. God bless. We'll see you all soon.
Bye, everyone.
I don't have any idea how to turn this off now, Terry.
Up at the very top left. It's where I see it.
Doesn't tell me how to stop.
I don't think I can do it.